Hey guys, welcome back. Check out this video by Ryan Pineda.
First year I did 5 flips, just maxing out my credit cards. Second year I did 20 flips, same deal, maxing out my credit cards. My credit score during that time was in the 500s. And I remember my friends were like, hey, why are you gonna keep your credit cards maxed out? Aren't you concerned that your credit's in the 500s? And I'm like, what am I gonna get with credit? What's the point of credit? To get a good interest rate? I'm already buying properties. Am I gonna go finance a car? I just bought my car cash. What do I need good credit for? And people worry about the dumbest things. Anytime somebody's concerned about their credit and they're broke, I'm like, you are literally the dumbest person alive. It makes literally no sense to be worried about credit and you're broke. You have way bigger problems than your credit score. And just the whole credit system's stupid to begin with. Hey, let's build up my credit, and the moment you use it, it's gonna drop. The whole thing is rigged, and you guys play with it. You're like, yeah, my FICO's great. I'm like, great, what's your net worth? Nobody's ever asked Jeff Bezos his FICO score. Nobody cares.
All right, Kirby. Now I'm gonna pass it off to you. So, tell us what you think about this video.
Ryan Pineda, he says some fascinating things. I like him. It's the video is funny to me. The reason why it's funny to me is because you hear it all the time. You hear the people with $2 in the bank talking about, oh, I gotta get my credit up. So you got $5 in the bank and your credit score bad, but you want to get your credit score up so you can borrow some more money. First off, you should already know you're not you're not good with money if you broke. So what you want to just do, rinse and repeat it again, and do the same thing over and over again. Doing the same thing over and over again, trying to get a different result is the definition of insanity. When it's already been said on this channel many a times, I was I'm still a big Dave Ramsey fan. I didn't care about my credit score when I was paying off all the debt. I didn't look at my credit score at all. I was just paying off debt, paying off debt, paying off debt, and then I accumulated the funds. The credit score system is a joke. And the reason why the credit score system is a joke, because like he said, so I build up my credit to borrow something or just have an inquiry on my credit, and the next thing you know, your credit score dropped. So what's the point? I mean, the thing people should be focused on most of all is get the money. Get the money. I don't care if you have an 850 credit score. 850 credit score with no money means you're doing nothing. This is not back in the 70s and 80s where you can get 100% loans. So if you don't have no capital, it don't matter. You can still buy, like you said, you can still buy a house. You can still buy a car. You can still buy anything with capital with a bad credit score. But you can't buy nothing with an 850 credit score with no money. So people focus on getting the money. And I'm not saying over there, go out there and trash your credit score. I'm just saying people are worried about the wrong things all the time. Your credit score is not going to do nothing for you if you don't have the cash. Like I hear it all the time. People saying, oh, I gotta go buy a house, but I gotta get my credit up. My credit's at a 525. I gotta get my credit up. I said, so what about PMI? What's PMI? I was like, so how much money are you gonna put down? Oh, I'm gonna ask somebody to borrow some money so I can get a down payment so I can buy a house. The American dream was a big lie that was sold, and everybody's out there scrambling trying to get it, but they don't understand the financial impact of it. Like, you can still go buy a house if you have the cash to go buy a house. You can still do it. Trust me, I've done it. I've bought houses and they never ran my credit score. They just said, hey, send me your bank statement so you say you got a proof of funds. The credit score really don't matter in this game. Even now, I do use credit to go buy real estate. They're not saying, oh, you gotta have an 850. They more looking at, hey, do you got the capital to put the big down payment, the 25% down? Hey, do you have capital to reserve set aside for emergencies? We see that you've been running this business, but they not sitting there harping, he and hawing over, oh, your credit score is at an 815. We'll just give you everything. No, they want to make sure that you have the financial responsibility. The financial responsibility to handle all the curveballs, all the things that go along with building a business, with building real estate. You have those reserves set aside for those things that's going to happen. The credit score is not that big of a deal. The capital is.
Kirby, I already know people are gonna tap you in the comments saying that no one has cash to buy a house. But before they do, when you bought your first house, you weren't, or I mean, not the first one in Texas, but in Florida. That was you were looking way below your price range. So, to for the viewers, when you are buying a house, if you are paying cash, it's not to say, oh, you have to buy a three, 400, $500,000 house. People seem to think that that's the only quality house that you can buy is in that price range. There's houses
Well,
in,
well,
as
what
we've seen, the fifty
one thing
thousand
with
dollar range.
that, one thing with that is, I mean, people can say I got lucky, but I say it's where opportunity meet preparation. I had the capital when I moved to Florida. This was 2012. Florida was destroyed from the financial crisis. Housing prices wasn't going up. The list price that I bought
Right.
the list price that the seller had the house for was way higher than what I paid for. But when I said, "Hey, I can pay cash and we can close in the next 3 days," he wasn't prepared. I was prepared. He thought he was gonna have to go through, 30, 45 days of escrow. And then I bought the house because I just wanted the shelter. I didn't want to live over there in Palm Springs. I didn't want, everybody saying ooh and ah. I already knew when I came here, I only knew two people here in Florida. So I knew it wasn't gonna be no big cookouts, barbecues. Now I'm not living in a shack by no means, but I knew it wasn't gonna be a lot of, traffic coming in and out and things like that. But I mean, last year I bought a house cash, a rental property cash. Uh, it's the credit scores don't matter, but most people they have these big uh champagne wishes and caviar dreams. They want, I need a $600,000 house. They making $30,000 a year. No, you need to temper your expectations and focus on what you can afford, not what's good to impress everybody else. My bad, Alex. Okay.
No, that's not good. Yeah, and I know some currently right now that is buying a house and they have a 590 credit score and got a pretty good interest rate according to his credit score. Because truthfully, in this environment, especially, no matter if your credit score is high or if it's low, the interest rates are going to be technically high because of just the interest rate environment that we're in. And it's possible to buy a house with a low credit score. It's possible to buy a house with a high credit score. And that's true. I mean, I have a good credit score, but once I was buying properties and really like just seeing, okay, what my credit score does for me, it was like, oh, it doesn't matter if it's high or low. Like now, if my credit score goes low and I'm still looking for another property, I'm not saying, oh, wait, let me wait until I get my credit score at X number before I buy this property, because really it doesn't make much of a difference. It matters if you have the cash to actually put down on the property, if you have the cash to do the remodels, do the repairs. And truthfully, if you're buying for investment, also, it doesn't matter what the interest rate is. You're going to push that payment off onto the tenant. So it needs to make sense for you as an investor to actually receive a good enough payment per month so that you can charge the correct rent on that property. But it doesn't matter what your credit score is in that scenario. Most people, I think, want to get a credit score because they want to buy a car. That's not an investment. And if you can't afford a brand new car, say cash, then why are you trying to use your low credit score to finance a car? That's ridiculous.
All right. And I mean, it's amazing to me. Everybody want to floss, flex, everything else. People are more focused on buying a car to look cool to drive around in than, I mean, literally, I've seen people pull up in the hood, live in the hood, but has a Mercedes, have BMWs. So you flossing for people that's broke. Like, I think Ice T said it. Oh no, Ice Cube said it. One of them, one of the Ices said it. It was Ice T, Ice Cube said it. He said, "You don't buy a $50,000 car. This is back in the '80s, so that's probably like $100,000 car now. But you don't buy a $50,000 car before you buy a house. It don't make sense. You gonna buy a depreciating asset before you buy an appreciating asset. You flexing in the hood, you flexing in the trailer parks, you flexing to say what? We all live in the same area, but I got more money than you. No, you're broke. You're just hiding it better than everybody else. That's what it means. Yeah, credit score. I think that's another scam that the banks use to convince people that they need to get stuff done. Because I've done a lot without using credit as a factor at all.
Yeah, exactly. But with all that being said, guys, if you like this video, hit the like button, leave us a comment down below, share this video and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.